Yo, what's going on today, guys? Today we're bringing you week 3 of LET. I'm the coach of your Eternity Scissors. Now, if you missed week 1 and 2, it's in the playlist. It'll probably be in the description. One of them will probably be on the end screen, so just stick around. You'll get to see one of them eventually. But let's just kind of hop in to the team builder. We're facing off against the Abaska Miltanks. I think I said that right. They have Latios, Azumarill, Cobalion, Crocodile, Rotomo, Papagrigus, Miltank, Zoroark, Archeops, Audino, and Magmar. Now, this is actually kind of a rough Dragapult matchup in particular, and we'll get on to that in a little bit. But one thing I noticed right off the bat against this team was they have one Fairy Resist, and that Fairy Resist is Magmar. So I'm kind of expecting Sylveon to go in. We're still bringing a bulkier Sylveon because it walls Latios and Zoroark and things. So I'm still bringing like a bulkier Sylveon. But since he only has one Fairy Resist, I still expect Hyper Voice to do a good bit of damage. But we'll get on to that in a little bit. So, like I said, I don't expect Dragapult to do super well in this matchup. They've got Azumarill, Cobalion, Miltank, and Audino. I think they've got enough to go around. Even like AV Crook, they've got enough to go around that Dragapult can pretty easily be shut down, I think. So I'm just kind of going for a setup set. Maybe if they play around it poorly, then I'll be able to win with it. But in the long run, I don't think that it's gonna do all that well. Just because, you know, Phantom Force isn't great, and they've got two normal types and two dark types. But you know, maybe the setup set does well. I don't expect this thing to put in a ton of work. And bringing specs, I just wasn't comfortable with bringing specs because, like I said, they've got two normal types, so I didn't want to be choiced, and I didn't want to be non-choiced special move because it just doesn't do that much damage. So we're going sub DD, and we're going to see if we can do some things with it. Next, we're bringing Scizor. This actually helps out our Azumarill matchup a lot. We're bringing a different Scizor set than anything I've ever brought before. It's just SD Life Orb. They kind of don't have a switch in. And I think I can get wishes to this pretty easily. So my plan is just come in on things like the Rotom, come in on things like Audino, on Miltank, on Zoroark, which probably will have Flamethrower, on Crook, things like that, and just, you know, try to do what I can against them. If I get an SD up at any point, I'm doing pretty well. A lot of the times I'll probably just be U-turning out. It's really here because Life Orb Bullet Punch helps with Belly Drum Azumarill. So as long as I get some chip on it and it decides to Belly Drum, then it'll be in range of Bullet Punch. So it should only ever get maybe one kill, maybe. So we just have to keep this thing around to be able to revenge it afterwards. We have Superpower to hit Cobalion. And then Bullet Punch and U-turn kind of hits everything else. Superpower also hits Miltank and Audino. We have to worry about Flame Bodies on Magmar, but you know, maybe they don't even bring Magmar. It is a tier 5 that, you know, a fire type tier 5 that can't really run boots, so rocks are going to hurt it a bit if it does come. So we'll see once we get in the game. I think this is what's going to do pretty well. Next, we have the Mamoswine. We're actually bringing a Choice Scarf with Stealth Rock on it, maybe just to catch them off guard a little bit. If they see Stealth Rock, they might not think it's Scarfed, but kind of puts in work against the team. Earthquake, Icicle Crash Knockoff hits Latios, hits Azumarill neutrally, hits Cobalion super effectively, hits Crook super effectively, Rotom super effectively, Papagrigus super effectively, the two normal types neutrally, Zoroark neutrally, Archeops super effectively, and Magmar super effectively. So we have ways to hit the whole team, which is going to be good. It's going to be really good. We have Thick Fat, just in case. I don't know. I didn't really need Oblivious, or I think it has another one that I don't remember. But at least if Magmar comes that way, we can maybe take a fire hit. But yeah, we're adamant we're EV dialed speed back speed Latius, and I think other than that, we kind of just come in and click buttons with this thing. If we want to get up rocks, we set rocks, but just clicking buttons with this thing is gonna be the main thing. Next, like I said, we have the Sylveon, and it's kind of just coming. Like I said, it's coming pretty bulky. We have leftovers, Heal Bell, Wish Protect, just in case the Miltank comes scrappy and it gets like body Flamparas. The Rotom could be a spreading Wisp or T-Wave or Toxic. The Miltank and Audino could also be spreading Toxic. So we've got Heal Bell just to mitigate that a little bit. We've got Hyper Voice on the set because, like I said, it's kind of all we need. And then Wish Protect, just because we can pass wishes back and forth between Scizor and Mamoswine and things like that. So that's going to be pretty good. We can also just heal ourselves up with it and just stay in. A lot of the times, if I don't have to wish, I'm just going to click Hyper Voice. It puts a lot of pressure on the team. We don't need that much special investment to wall the special Pokemon, so we can be pretty heavily defensively invested. So we can actually deal with more things like Crook, Miltank, and Audino if it wants to come as some like stall knockoff set. We can deal with that. I think Sylveon's going to do pretty well, pretty well in this matchup, considering that Magmar is the one resist for sure. Then we've got Talonflame, Heavy Duty Boots, Flame Body, Flare Blitz, Roost, Toxic, U-Turn. I've got Toxic for, I think I've just got Toxic for Thick Fat Miltank. It could have Heal Bell, but at least we're forcing it to Heal Bell at that point. Yeah, I think it was just Thick Fat Miltank and Audino, and maybe Magmar with the Toxic. I guess Latias too. I could catch Latias with a Toxic. I don't think I'm gonna need Defog that much. They could set rocks, but I'm not too hurt by rocks, I don't think. And they have T-Spikes. Cofagrigus gets T-Spikes, but we're actually bringing our Poison type this week. So in the long run, I don't really feel like I'm gonna need the rocks. We're outspeeding Thick again. We're outspeeding Latios, and then we've got max HP, 108 defense, just to deal with some things like knockoffs from Crook, Iron Heads and CCs from Cobalion, which are going to be pretty big. Cobalion is a little tough to switch in to, and a little tough to kill, which is the biggest part. So we're going to have to watch out for like the stone edges on Cobalion and the rock slides and stuff. If he doesn't get those predictions right, he's risking a lot of flame body burns on a lot of his Pokemon. And then last, like I said, we are bringing our Poison type this week. We're bringing Toxicroak. It's coming Life Orb, Poison Jab, Drain Punch, Sucker Punch, and Swords Dance. This actually puts in a good bit of work. Dry Skin helps with the Azumarill if he wants to be like Banded Aqua Jet, Banded Liquidation, or whatever. Dry Skin helps with that a lot because it makes him try to have to predict around whether Toxicroak's coming in on the Water type move or what have you. Also, Poison Jab is super effective against Azumarill. We're also faster, so we're kind of, this is a pretty good Azumarill check, because if it does get a Belly Drum off and Scizor is gone, or maybe I just don't want to get damage off on Scizor, after the Belly Drum we just go Toxicroak, we let it kill something, we go Toxicroak, and we just Poison Jab, because at that point, they can't Aqua Jet to kill us because we have Dry Skin, so we're going to be faster than them, and if they do click Aqua Jet, then I guess we take it on the chin, because it doesn't do anything. Also, with them having two Dark types and two two normal types, really just the two normal types. With them having the two normal types, I wanted to bring this. The two Dark types, both, I think Zoroark gets Psychic type moves, and then the other Dark types are Ground types, so I don't really want to stay in on that. But Rotom-Mo's another thing that made me want to bring this. And then if I do get an SD up, Sucker Punch does a good bit of work to the team as long as things like Crook and Zoroark are gone. Sucker Punch can help with Latias and stuff like that. So I don't know. It felt like a good bring. I think it's gonna be fine. I think if we get it in, especially if Audino comes, if Audino and Miltank come and Miltank doesn't have Earthquake, then it kind of just comes in. It kind of just comes in on those, and we can get some damage off. We can get a good bit of damage off for sure, especially because they're one of their resist is a fairy type, which we hit with poison jab. Their flying type is a rock type, so it doesn't resist. And Latias, we can hit with sucker punch if we want to stay in, if we want to risk that. But for the most part, if Latias comes in, Sylveon kind of just hard walls it. So that gives us another excuse to go into Sylveon and click a move. But that's the team breakdown. I don't want to keep you here for too long. I kind of just want to get into the battle, so I will catch you guys there. All right, I'm gonna preface this game with it was scuffed. It was a scuffed game. The servers we picked, kind of were kind of trash today. There were a bunch of turns where the game just took minutes, and like 5 minutes to just load. My OBS decided to be laggy. I have no idea what was going on with that, so I've got to figure that out. So I had to pause a couple times. There were a couple times where the gameplay is fine, but you can't hear my voice because it's lagging, or maybe you can hear my voice and it's just lagging behind. But that's kind of lame. There are a couple turns missing. The turns that are missing from the footage is whenever I sent Talonflame out on Cobalion, he volt switched out. I think he was Akaberry. I couldn't see it because I was trying to get my OBS to stop lagging. I think he was Akaberry because my Flare Blitz did nothing. And then he went to Latias. I was like, oh, that's fine. I'll just U-turn out. But Latias was Scarf, so they killed me with Psychic. And then I think that was like the only couple turns that were missing there. Other than that, I think everything's fine. But yeah, sorry for the scuff game. I'm just gonna speed it up and I'm gonna play it with music in the background. That way, you know, all the scuffed audio and stuff is out of the way. This is your preference, or your preface, I should say, not your preference. Your preference might be me talking over it, but that's just not possible for this game, and I just want to make sure like the editing and stuff is all smooth. And you know, I think at this point, speeding it up and putting music behind it is going to be more watchable than me trying to, you know, talk over a scuff game. So enjoy the footage. If you like what you saw after you watch the footage, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. But for now, peace.